Okay, so I'm going to continue. I have to stop to take my sweater off and to go make some coffee, but I'm on it again. Okay, item 13. I know this is boring. That's why I'm stopping and making jokes because this is hard to read because how stupid it is. Not because I'm dumb, but because they're dumb. Anyway, so to recall, okay, what happened? He bought her a kimono and gave her the key of his apartment. Because the apartment was very scary. Wasn't the apartment really scary? There was a liquor store under the apartment. There was black walls everywhere. There was no light. It was very cold. The apartment was very scary. But you receive the key and you decide to be in that apartment, in that scary cold apartment. Doesn't make sense. And she had a family member living in downtown LA and having an apartment also there. So she could choose between the two apartments and she decided to stay with him. In some type of emergency, when he was a band practice or doing interviews or singing somewhere or doing whatever, she could have gone to her family member that have an apartment a few minutes away from in downtown LA and stay with her or ask for help. But she didn't. She didn't. So she moved into this place that everybody else described as a dungeon. And okay, she was okay. She was okay with it because she moved in. All right. And then he bought her a kimono, an expensive kimono, and he requests that she will wear it. Like I said, what an asshole. Can't believe it. He bought her something and he expects her to wear it. What a jerk. Of course, I'm being sarcastic if you don't know by now. I'm being sarcastic, big time. So, yeah, so not only she had to wear the kimono, but also she had to be with him all the time. Which, that is being copy and paste on the other arguments too, and the other filings too. And we can have an argument of like, well, maybe Manson is the type of person who doesn't want to be alone. Obviously, he doesn't want to be alone. And obviously, he gives his key and his trust to too many people, but that doesn't make him an abuser. If he wanted her to be with him all the time, and that speaks of him maybe not be able to be alone, it's still is something to work on, but it doesn't make him a criminal at all. It's kind of sad, but it's not a crime. It seems like she had nothing better to do than be with him. So what is wrong with him saying, hey, I just give you a key for my apartment and I'm giving you some outfits. Can you stay with me? And can you be with me? Can you be with me more often? I mean, that's take it as whatever you want to take it. I just don't think it's so negative, really. Okay, so kimono. I get you the kimono. Please wear the kimono for me. Big deal. She didn't like that he bought her something and he expected her to wear it once in a while or all the time. I don't know. Warner became increasingly controlling, of course he did, of plaintiff when he permitted plaintiff to leave or go to her own residence, so she had another place to go, right? Warner would text and call her all the time and he would punish himself. I don't buy this at all. Or punish her if she did not return quickly enough. If plaintiff did not respond to Warner's text immediately, he will call her angry, demanding to know where she was and who she was with. Warner will make such a text and call anytime, day or night, and he expects plaintiff to respond or answer right away. Which, again, I'm saying, if he did that, that makes him a dude that texts a lot, and that can be kind of obnoxious, but it's not abusive and it's not a criminal thing. And first of all, I don't think he did all that. And if he did, then she's going to have to show this crazy, non-stop, psychotic messages that he was sending. When you're talking about text messages, these girls are stupid. These girls are dumb. Because if they say there was a phone calls are hard to track, but text messages is all there. The FBI or any type of investigation can find that, and they can just retrieve messages. A lot of cases with serial killers and stuff these days are cracked by text messages in chat rooms. Believe it or not, it's crazy. Everything that you type is there somewhere. If they were saying that these were conversations like mouth to mouth, then it's harder to prove. But she talks about text messages, and she's shooting herself on the foot because she's talking about something that she's not gonna be able to produce. I hope she produces messages because I want to laugh. If the messages happen, then I want to see them. If they didn't happen, then it didn't happen, which I don't think it did. I'm like 50-50 on that. Maybe he texted her a lot. I don't think that's so bad. I don't know. Okay, now we're gonna go with the place was too cold. The apartment was too cold anyway. Warner slept much of the day. We know that. We know that about him. Was often awake only at night. We know that. He said that in plenty of interviews, right? And kept his apartment extremely dark, sometimes pitch black and very cold. Plaintiff was often... These girls won't make it like for a week if they go to like Germany or Switzerland or places that are really actually cold. If she thinks this is cold, she thinks that 65 degrees is cold. Jesus, my God, she was cold wearing that kimono. Freezing. It's not that cold. 65. I have it right now. I have it on like 58. I'm like, that makes me a sick criminal, and I'm not even wearing a sweater. It's like it's kind of healthy to be in the colder side. I mean, if it's annoying and she was not able to get to the thermostat and change it, or if she says something, he was gonna get mad at her. And that's something that she should have discussed with her family member that she was staying with, instead of waiting 10 years. Okay, it was really cold and there was no light. Okay, so Warner refused to allow plaintiff to wear clothing, demanding that she was nude even within the cold environment much of the time. He would also become furious with her if she attempted to touch the thermostat. Yeah, that's what I thought. She would touch the thermostat and he would just get his whip out. Okay, again, when we talk about sexual abuse, partner abuse, emotional abuse, and all that, texting people a lot and having a place in a comfortable temperature and dim lights, probably because he doesn't like bright lights, having the place dim when he's the one paying the bills, I don't think is that bad. And controlling behavior is not defined by a guy buying you an outfit and telling you to please wear it. That's not controlling behavior. That is whatever, it's your choice to be with guys like that or not. It's your choice, but it's not really that bad. I mean, come on. The guy is going to go to trial for something like this? This is ridiculous. So in addition to the darkness, and being cold virtually all the time, no, it's not all the time. Plaintiff was often hungry, and Warner apartment, initially when plaintiff moved in, Warner would allow her to eat when she wanted to eat, but over the time he started to deny her food. Warner kept food for himself. That is cute. I imagine Marilyn Manson in his bed with all this, all his tuna sandwiches and all his cheese and turkey sandwiches and his, chips. I'm keeping the food for myself. Come on. Really? No. I mean, I believe there was a lot of drugs, and I believe that he offered drugs, and I believe that this is another girl that did it. That's why she lost weight, because of the drugs she was doing, not because he was starving her. That's my theory. But anyway, so he's keeping the food for himself, and he's not sharing it with her. Again, these people are adults. Can she just go to the liquor store? They literally live above a store. Liquor stores, I have a liquor store right here, and I always go to because it's the only place open all night. And they have pastries, they have sandwiches, they have yogurt. She could go and buy something. So I find it hard to believe that she couldn't get any food at all from anybody around. Weird. So he was not allowing her to eat at all, not once. But over time, he started to deny her food. Okay, Warner told plaintiff that because she was his girlfriend now, she needed to lose weight because her weight will embarrass him. Like if she was too big, he would be embarrassed. No, I don't think Manson gives a fuck about that. I mean, he cares about the women that he married gorgeous women, right? He was fiancé with Rose McGowan, which to me she was a goddess, and Everett Wood, Evan to me is not really, not ugly, but she's not that ooh. But he has good taste, you know. So that's not to say that he told her to lose weight. Maybe she was losing weight already as it is, but they're gonna blame him for absolutely everything. Like if she gets a mole, it's gonna be his fault. If she got, some whatever, it's gonna be his fault. I think that women losing weight in the industry is very normal, and that's another thing I wanted to say about Evan, my favorite person. Evan has been skinny her whole life. There's a couple of interviews that Evan says that people bully her in school because she was so skinny and so pale. She's natural skinny. I'm not saying she has an eating disorder. I think Evan is one of those people that she could probably eat whatever and she's naturally skinny. She's been skinny her whole life. This girl probably was also skinny her whole life. Esme Bianco, she's an actress, so she had to lose a bunch of weight or not. That's what actors do. She is skinny. She was skinny before Manson. She was skinny during Manson, and she was skinny. She's still skinny after Manson. So unless I see proof that their weight is going up and down, I look at Esme Bianco weight, and Esme is 6. She's 5'6". I'm 5'5", and 120 pounds. That's quite skinny, and that is the weight the usually women have in the industry, either musicians or models or actresses, because it's sad, but that's the way they're supposed to look like, and that's not Manson's fault. But she's saying that he told her to lose weight. I think if she lost weight, it was because something else, maybe, yeah. Plaintiff was frightened of Warner's fans. Warner told her frequently that his fans, this is kind of true, were extremely devoted to him and likely will hate her. Well, we hate her now, though, because now she's lying. They were fighting. They were finally loyal to him, yeah, definitely obsessed with him. This is kind of cute in a way. I felt touched. Jesus Christ. Warner warned plaintiff that his fans have bullied and harassed previous girlfriends in the past, and she was so nervous about this, finding of who she was. She was going to be bullied again, once again. I have to say it. She was going to be attacked and bullied once again. Okay, this maybe happened. Maybe Manson said, hey, just be careful because people really pick on my girlfriends, which they did, because I remember they pick on Rose a lot. In the beginning, they pick on Dita a lot. Dita was a gold digger. Now everybody loves Dita. But I remember when Marilyn Manson fans hated Dita. So maybe this is true. If anything, he's trying to protect you from something. He's telling you, hey, watch out because my fans are fucking crazy. So he's trying to actually be honest and transparent to her. Why this is a negative thing, I don't know. Plaintiff was made to feel inferior to Warner due to age difference. Oh, here we go. He's much older than her. That is not inferior. That just means that you're younger than the guy. It's just a number, isn't it? Like Evan will say, age is just a number. And then she will complain about, I was 18, I was being groomed by an older man. So which one is it? Is it really hard because you can be groomed? If you date an old guy, there's a chance for you to be groomed and be abused? Or age is just a number and it doesn't matter? Make up your mind. And this is a copy and paste from the other ones. The only reason Esme couldn't put this is because Esme Bianco was already old when she was with him. But this is a copy and paste kind of between Evan and Ashley. Ashley also said that she was a girl. She wasn't a girl. She was a model, like traveling the world working as a model. You can't travel and work as a model if you're not above 18. So she was at least 18. The same with Evan. A pretty stupid 18-year-old person, a pretty stupid 19-year-old person, but you cannot call yourself a girl anymore. So she's saying that he was making her feel inferior and he was feeling superior because of the age difference and his status of power in the industry. Everyone around him also seemed to treat him like extreme reverences and adulation. Well, again, what is wrong with this? There's nothing wrong with it. A lot of celebrities are treated like that. They're celebrities. And Manson, for what we know and for what we've seen in interviews and encounters, even with TMZ, he's like such a chill guy. Like, even when the paparazzis are on his face, he's going like, come on, guys, I just want to go home and have sex. He makes jokes like that. He doesn't even get aggressive. So, of course, they're going to be nice to him. And they're going to adulate him, or, whatever word she used, worshiping him or whatever. It's a celebrity. They get that. They get people to worship them. You can say it is a lifestyle that you want to have or you don't. That's not your cup of tea, whatever. But it's not a crime, again. So Warner told plaintiff about his relationship to with Richard Wood, and then he had wanted to kill her. Here we go. Okay, we got to put Evan on this. We have to, right? He told plaintiff about a time that he had tied Evan to a chair and pointed a gun at her. He said, she said. He told plaintiff about a time that he had died and put a gun on her. He said he considered killing Mrs. Wood, but he decided to be merciful. Oh, okay. Warner recounted a story about the previous Christmas day where he had called Mrs. Wood 158 times and cut himself every time that she did not answer the phone. Okay. This is actually something that he said in an interview. It might be true. It might be part of what Manson says in interviews. A lot of it is BS. And if this is true, I feel bad for him, not for Evan and not for her. I feel sad for him that he was self-harming himself 100 times. And he felt so lonely and he felt so lost that he had to hurt himself. If anything, I feel bad for him. If anything, if this happened. Then there's a few key moments and milestones in the relationship with Warner. Oh, there was some good milestones. Okay, let's see the good milestones, key moments. Implied to plaintiff that he was honoring her, such as when he first gave her the key to the apartment. Let's not forget the kimono, the key and the kimono. The biggest of these honors or benchmarks is the relationship came when he told plaintiff that he had decided that he wanted to show her a videotape he called Groupie. I talk about that in a minute, which he claimed to have made in the 90s, which he did. He kept the videotape locked in a safe and told plaintiff that only 3 people in the world besides him have ever seen it. He told plaintiff that he would show this to her because he trusts her completely and that it was incredibly meaningful to him. Yeah, here we go with the groupie thing. Okay, so the video groupie. That is actually something that does exist as a video called Groupie. Short film. Directed and acted by a model. Her name is Pola Weiss. That she was with Trent Reznor, like a girlfriend type of thing. And she collaborated with Manson and more than once. And she worked for other music videos in the 90s. An actress. Model actress, okay? This is the film that this Jane Doe is referring to. It's a short film that it was fake. The whole thing was fake, and there's proof of that. The director has been saying that for a few days now. And also in the video for Manson Dead to the World, the credits, I mean, you gotta pay a lot of attention for this stuff, and I had the credits, they thank Pola Weiss, which is the model in the video, and the model in the video Groupie. So she didn't get tortured, she didn't get killed. She went and worked with him again for the song Long Hard Road Out of Hell, and she worked again for the band Garbage in a couple songs and a couple of music videos. So that debunks the whole thing. Just what I just told you right now, that is all over YouTube, or look it up. If you go to the Manson Wikipedia, you type Groupie on Google, you're gonna read about what Groupie is about, and you see a couple pictures, and maybe you might be able to watch the video. It's like a minute. The real length of the video, I don't know how long it is because he kept it away, hiding somewhere. I think the reason he kept it hidden is not because they killed somebody. It's because it might be a little bit too much for the American public, or maybe he's kind of trying to bank on that and is going to release it when it's time for him to release it, or maybe he doesn't feel like releasing it. But the fact that he didn't release something doesn't make it really too shady. People do that here a lot. They film something and then they don't release it. There's nothing more to that. The film is not a snuff. It's not film. It is like camera held, so it really looks, like the movie Blair Witch Project and those movies like that make you believe that it's real. Like I said, if you go to the movie theater and you watch something, a girl tied up and screaming, you automatically, your brain goes actress, right? Because you pay a ticket to go to the movie theater. Well, Manson did something that it looks very real, but it was acted by a model. Her name is Pola, and even if it looked real, it was act, just like if you go to watch a horror, scary movie in the movie theater. So the fact that she's mentioning this little video here makes her look like a liar 100%. 100%. I mean, I always thought she was lying. This whole thing, I read it last night because it came out yesterday. And first glance, I was like, oh my God, I was laughing with the whole kimono thing. He gave me a kimono. He told me to wear my kimono in the cold apartment and in the dark, and I have to just use flashlights to walk around the apartment. The whole thing was really laughable to me. The way she mentioned the video Groupie. Now I am sure that she's full of BS, because we know the video is just a video, just like any scary movie out there. He told plaintiff that he showed her the video because he trusts her enough to show her this video. Okay. When he came to show the videotape, Warner sent Mrs. Walters, which is Ashley, the assistant, remember the one that filed like 2 weeks ago, Ashley home, so he and plaintiff can be alone watching this. He explained to plaintiff that he had filmed this video in '96. That seems about right. After his band had played a show at the Hollywood Bowl, he said he was staying in a house located near to Cahuenga Cross and Hollywood Hills. Warner, I don't know why that's important, where he was staying at. Warner turned the volume of the sound system to a very high setting and pressed play. The film started with the band partying together. It was a very rowdy crowd, and Warner put a condom on the penis of a bandmate, Twiggy Ramirez, Jordy White, but Twiggy for us, right? And performed oral sex on him. Fake oral sex on him. They were acting, okay? There was a knock or a ring at the door. Someone answered it. The door opened, and a seemingly young teenage fan was holding something that she bought for Warner, like a piece of art or something. She was wearing a Marilyn Manson shirt, dark eye makeup as well. Warner ordered that she be let in, so they let her in, right? And then he tied her up. Oh, just one thing next to the other, or just like that. I don't know. Then he tied the young fan to a chair and lectured and interrogated her. He humiliated her, betrayed her. She cried and pled for her life. The girl's t-shirt was removed, and Warner forced her to drink a glass of one of the band's members' urine. Later, a gun is introduced, and Warner threatens her with a possibly pistol whip and ends her life. It will end her life. This is a big accusation right here. This goes from, well, the sexual thing to he's a killer, pretty much. The thing is like very easy to debunk because this video was a film that was done. You can say it's not a cup of tea. You can say it's a little bit annoying, disturbing. It's too loud. I watch it. It's kind of too loud for me. But it's like saying the Blair Witch Project or the movie Saw are real just because they look real. That's how stupid this argument is right here. So yeah, in the video they're acting. Twiggy's acting. Manson is not performing oral sex on Twiggy. They're acting that as well. So if they act that, they act the rest of it. Okay? So this film, Groupie, that seems so dark and so awful, now this Jane Doe is implying that it led to somebody's death. So this is a big deal. right here. This is something that the other ones didn't put on the declarations. So the reason why it's a big deal is because she's trying to say that he tortured and killed somebody. Now we know that the girl on the video is out and about, and she had a successful career as a model and worked with many musicians in the 90s. And how come she went, if she was tortured and hurt and stuff, how come she went and worked with him again in 96 for Long Hard Road Out of Hell? How come? Because she wasn't hurt. She was acting. And like, again, you can say it's not your cup of tea. You can say, I don't want to watch that video, man, it's too much, it's too loud. But it's like the same that you will feel if you go and watch a scary movie that is very real, that is like, you know, handheld camera, and it just seems very real. Yeah, I mean, it can make you feel things, but you cannot say the guy tortured and might have killed somebody. This is bigger than the other documents. This is actually worse. Actually, we already proved it wrong. A lot of people on Instagram and on YouTube are already making videos about how there was no actress killed on the video, or even hurt, or even punched, or even slapped, because she went out to work with him like a year after. So she was not tortured and she was not dead. Just implying, for this person to imply that he actually put a real gun to her head and maybe end her life, is a bit, you know, he needs to sue these people, especially this one. Because one thing is saying that you are, you know, that you're sleazy and that you want all your girlfriends to be naked around your house or whatever. Another thing is saying that you put a gun to somebody's head and the model's, the actor's life. He needs to sue these people, like big time. Somebody has to. My God, I can't believe I just read that. That's crazy. Item 23. Plaintiff was repulsed by the video they were watching, Groupie, and is scared of the film. As Warner increased his abuse and violence in the film, Plaintiff began thinking that he was showing this to her because he was going to kill her, just like he did with the girl in the video, supposedly. Plaintiff began glancing at the front door and trying to figure out if she could run to it before he could grab her. However, Warner had placed himself between Plaintiff and the door. What an asshole again. He spent a lot of the time watching Plaintiff's face and reactions while they were watching this video. As Warner's screaming and abuse got worse, Plaintiff was no longer able to hold back her tears. Warner saw that she was crying, but he told her that she needed to keep watching until the end. I don't believe that he said that. I believe they were watching the video. I don't believe that he was like, watch it until the end. No. When the video was over, Plaintiff remembers crying and asking repeatedly if the girl in the video was dead or not. Warner would not answer. Plaintiff thought that Warner murdered this girl. Warner claimed the girl was actually his girlfriend at the time. Plaintiff was confused because the girl looked like a young teenager. The girl was Trent Reznor's girlfriend at the time. I don't know why Manson said that, but maybe he got confused for a moment. I don't know. The girl was not a teenager. We know. How we know? Because there's pictures of Pola, this model, in 94, she was 18. She was 18 in 94, then in 96, she was 20. So whoever filed for this is just very vindictive. It's just pure cruelty. You're just trying to send a guy to jail for something, to prison, or to trial, and then to prison. He didn't say, oh, the girl is dead or alive, because that's kind of, he might not, I don't know if he said it or he didn't say it, or maybe he didn't understand her question, or maybe he was drunk or whatever, but the research shows that this girl was not only alive, but she went and worked with him again. So when this person is implying that he was attacking a female fan underage, she's full of it, because this female fan was an actress who was acting in to pretend to be a female fan, and she was at least 20 years old, because in 94 she was 18. There's pictures of her in 94. Warner claimed the girl was actually his girlfriend at the time. Plaintiff was confused. Warner told plaintiff that when he first showed the movie to Tony Kula, which is the manager that he doesn't have anymore, his manager at the time, Kula told him that he needed to lock the tape in a safe and never show it to anybody again. Warner will be sent to prison if, okay. First of all, even if Tony Kula said that, that's people just being, people exaggerating stuff around Manson a lot, and maybe we don't know the tone of it. Maybe he said, oh man, that's gonna send you straight to jail if you show that. We don't know the tone of that sentence, if it was funny, if they were messing around. So Tony Kula said, just put the video away because you can go to jail for that. Plaintiff had never seen anything more disturbing than that. She was traumatized. She did not understand why he would be sent to prison if it transpired was all acting, because it was all acting. And Tony saying, oh, you can go to prison, which I don't know if he said or not. We're gonna have to ask Tony to go to trial or whatever and said that he said that or not. And even if he did, I think maybe he did it in a joking way. And again, the people around Marilyn Manson have the sense of humor that he has. So I won't be surprised if Tony Kula was kind of like joking around about, man, we're gonna go to jail if you show this to anybody. Anyway, he is no good now because he dropped him after 25 years. But if he gets called to declare, to testify and all this stuff, he can actually say if he was exaggerating about the video or the video was so scary. But even if the video was scary, I go back to the same thing. It wasn't real. So even if it's not your cup of tea, Tony or Chloe or whatever, it was not real. It was acting. Just like a movie that you can go watch at the movie theater that is disturbing. You're like, eesh, but you pay a ticket to watch it, and it's actors. This is the same thing. Plaintiff spent a lot of time questioning Warner to figure out who the girl was and confirm if she was okay or not. But Warner gave only vague and evasive and vague answers. He claimed it was a woman in his Long Ride of Hell music video. Even thought the young girl in Groupie did not resemble the woman in the video. There's something called makeup and wigs. Yes, and they do look alike. Warner never told plaintiff what became of the girl in the film. She just, we know what became of her anyway. He thanked her at the end of the video, Dead to the World. It says, thanks, Pola Wise. So, yeah, that's what became of her. She became a person who was successful as a model in the music industry, making music videos for all the bands. That's what it became of her. Seriously, like, come on. One night towards the end of March, plaintiff was meant to meet up with Warner and his entourage, but due to miscommunications between plaintiff and Ashley looks like shit on this thing, because Ashley looks like, well, there was a girl screaming and she didn't do nothing about it. Well, there was a girl walking around the house on a kimono starving and Ashley didn't do nothing about it. So this is making Manson look bad, but it's also making Ashley look bad as well if you think about it, because she was the assistant and she was not there to just take care of the situation. I don't know. When they returned to his apartment, he became more and more erratic and angry. Warner commanded plaintiff and Ashley Walters to dance and sing karaoke for him. Walters told plaintiff that they had to comply with Warner's wishes, otherwise he would get more angry. And the plaintiff needed to act happy and smile in order to avoid conflict and just sing the karaoke. Plaintiff felt degraded and stripped of her free will. Okay. So, I mean, again, this can be obnoxious situations to be in. It can be obnoxious. It can be a moment be like, oh, really, come on, do you want me to sing? Really, seriously, man? Like, seriously, I'm shy, I don't want to sing. It could be a moment like that, but I don't think it was more than that. I think that she's really exaggerating, big time. And it's not making Ashley Walters look good at all. At all. I don't know if they complied to do this together, but I don't think they did, because putting Ashley Walters in all these scenarios and not defending the other woman or not saying something and just acting like she can't see, she don't see, is making Ashley look really crappy. So they're supposed to do this karaoke and she felt that she got no free will because she had to say yes to the karaoke. I don't believe that. I believe that maybe it was a karaoke. I don't think that she had to say yes to it. Anyway, Warner went on a drug and alcohol fueled bender for the next 3 days. During this time, Warner screamed and repeatedly threatened both Ashley and her, or now they're putting her, Ashley is a victim here, very smart. He threw glass against the wall, shattering it, and when plaintiff tried to clean it up, he screamed at her and forced her to stop cleaning. At one point, when plaintiff was crying, Mr. Warner ordered Ashley Walters to take photos of plaintiff crying, and plaintiff wanted them to be deleted, but Ashley Walters refused out of fear. So Ashley was taking pictures of her crying, and then when Jane Doe said, please delete them, Ashley said no. So if that's true, then Ashley is as guilty as anybody else for saying no and keep taking the pictures, don't you think? Warner raped, repeatedly sexually abused plaintiff. The physical and sexual aspect of plaintiff's relationship with Warner was really gentle and romantic at first. However, that changed very quickly. That's a copy and paste they all say the same exact thing. Warner demanded extremely frequent sex unless he was busy recording or entertaining people. Yeah, he's a guy, he likes sex, I don't know. Plaintiff was not able to sleep through the night because that was the time that Warner was awake and most demanding of sex. When he finally allowed plaintiff to sleep, he interrupted her sleeping approximately every hour to demand sex from her again while she was sleeping. If plaintiff did manage to briefly fall asleep during this time, Warner will come in the bedroom, often making a screaming noise for the purpose of waking her up. Warner was constantly angry at plaintiff for being tired. He had this schedule, right? He has this night owl schedule. You don't have to be a rock star to understand that. A lot of people work at night and sleep during the day. And if you are with somebody, you want to hang out with them, you want them to be awake at the same time that you're awake, this might be a bit, again, obnoxious or whatever. But it's not so far-fetched. People do that all the time. People ask older people to stay awake to be with them. I've done that. So I don't think there's anything criminal about that. Maybe she's complaining because he didn't give her enough cocaine. I don't know. Who knows? It's bullshit. This one has so many. Like, this is worse. I thought nothing could be worse than Ashley Walters' document. This is worse. Because adding that thing about the girl and not knowing if the girl is alive or is she for her well-being, and we know the girl is okay, is really trying to put in everybody's head, the media especially out there, that he is a monster. He will make videos of these girls and torturing them. And it's just, everything adds to the smear campaign, to the big plan that they've been having for a few years now. This one is really, this needs to be, I mean, I don't believe it. So it's not enough that I don't believe it. The trial, the judge or whatever doesn't also have to believe it. So hopefully there will be text messages and things that he can prove that it's like, okay, well, yeah, I texted a lot. Okay. Or yeah, I asked her to wear this kimono. Okay. But that's it. What else can be proven? Nothing. Warner often will fall asleep during intercourse after taking many sleeping pills. He will force plaintiff to have sex with him and to be on top of him during sex. She will pray. You're praying? You're naked and you're praying? Oh wait, you're not naked, you got the kimono on. So she will pray for Warner to pass out during intercourse, because if that happens, then she could finally sleep. But when this happens, plaintiff will try to slip away to get some sleep, but the moment she moves, Warner will wake up and demand to resume more sexual activity from her. I'm not even gonna comment on that. Warner began demanding plaintiff not to move a muscle during sex. He ordered her to lie on top of him and stay perfectly still, or else he would scream at her. I'm not even gonna comment on that either. The sexual thing is like, Warner 3 days 3-day drug binge discussed above was another turning point in the relationship between plaintiff and Warner. Warner became increasingly violent during sex. He would grab her extremely forcibly. At one point, Warner bit, oh, another thing with the biting, bit plaintiffs on her neck extensively hard. Plaintiff remembered being terrified during the time frame that her aunt, the person that she has an apartment with, her family member, will come into the bathroom while she was showering and saw the bruises and all the marks on her body. Wait, so your family member, your aunt, saw bruises. She knew you were hanging out with this crazy rockstar person, right? And then you went and showered and she saw bruises and she didn't take pictures of your bruises, and she is your aunt, she's your family member that's supposed to love you and care for you, and she saw your bruises when you were showering and she didn't take pictures of it? That's not a very good caring family member, if you ask me. Or call the police, or do something, or be like, I'm gonna just beat the shit out of that guy if he touches you again. That is the reaction you will have if somebody in your family gets hurt to the point of getting black and blue from bruises. So the aunt saw that, but she just cried about it. She didn't report it, she didn't take pictures of it, or audio recording, nothing. No. If you already seen it, because for some reason she's showering in front of her aunt, I don't know, that's whatever. That means that she was able to hang out with her aunt in that apartment. So she wasn't always stuck with him. She was able to go and see her aunt in the other apartment. So why does she keep saying that she was always stuck with him? If that's not true. That isn't. And if I see somebody with a bruise, it doesn't have to be a big bruise. I just ask. I will respectfully ask, what's going on? Is anything going on? You want to tell me anything? And even if the person says no, I probably will still have it in my head and probably take a picture of it, because you never know. But this person didn't do it because it wasn't there. The bruises wasn't there. And if they were there, they were caused by something else, which I really firmly believe that people can hurt themselves to the point that it will look like somebody else hurt you. That's something that we all have the power of doing. It's not rocket science. Plaintiff remembered that the left side of her chest and neck had turned completely black with bruises he had inflicted on her. I can't not say anything about that either. I just told you what I think. One day in early June 2011, plaintiff visited Warner very early in the morning per his demand. Oh, I thought he was asleep in the morning. Wait, so she went in the morning and he was awake? That's crazy. Plaintiff and Warner sat on his apartment couch. Warner began insisting the plaintiff kiss him and engage in sexual acts with him. In the morning? Oh, Manson. Oh my God, Manson. You actually want to have sex in the morning? Every guy out there wants to do that. But I thought you were asleep in the morning. He was asleep. No, he was super awake during the day now. He changed from like being awake at night, and now he's awake in the morning. The man needs sex from her. Okay, for once, plaintiff refused. She refused for once. She had refused before too, but she's not telling you. She wants to dramatize the whole thing. Plaintiff refused. Plaintiff was crying, but Warner was relentless and ruthless. Warner ultimately forced plaintiff to perform oral sex on him in the morning. While she was crying, he held back of her head and forced his penis into her mouth. Afterwards, plaintiff cried herself to sleep. So this is your boyfriend, right? It's supposed to be your boyfriend. She's still saying that it's a boyfriend. You go back in the morning to hang out with your boyfriend after you hang out with your family member that you could have asked for help, but you didn't. And he wants to have sex. In this case, he just wants oral sex. And in the couch. And what's the problem? She's not saying she was tied up. She's not saying that he punched her on the face. He pulled his penis into her mouth. And then she cried herself to sleep. Well, maybe you cry yourself to sleep because you have issues. You know, not everybody that has sex with their boyfriends cry themselves to sleep after. You know, she obviously there's something else going on that they don't want to tell you because they want you to think that he's a monster. Later, plaintiff were to return a Warner's apartment's key. Oh yeah, she was going to give him back the key. This is going to be dramatic right here, I'm sure. When he opened the door, he was he was wearing the pink kimono that he had given her. That's so funny to imagine Manson wearing a pink kimono. That's so cute. It's hilarious. Plaintiff remembered being in the hallway by his front door, about to leave, when Warner forcibly pushed her to the ground, with her face down on the carpet and his hands on top of her. Warner raped her. Alright? This is the first time they used that word, by the way, in the whole claim. It's the first time. Because before it was like, okay, well, he was trying to have sex with her, and she said no, she didn't, she couldn't. Then they were almost half asleep and they were having sex when they were asleep. All this stuff, and there was very vague. Then crying yourself to sleep after you gave your boyfriend oral sex. I don't get that either. This is the first time in item 37. You guys, I'm going through this like so you don't have to. It's painful. So I hope that somebody appreciates it out there. And item 37 is the first time that the R word is mentioned. So Warner R wore her. Okay. Warner repeated plaintiff name as he R her. He was saying that she had driven him crazy and she was making him do this to her, like kind of make her feel guilty about it, supposedly. Warner was wearing black jeans under the kimono. I'm sorry, the kimono. Why they have to put the kimono on there? What is it? What is it relevant? They're trying to make him look more of a freak, like he's wearing a girl's kimono. See, he's trying to make you think that he's freak, more of a freak than he actually is. It's like, oh, now why he's wearing her kimono, whatever. And plaintiff remembers seeing them around his ankles, and he looked back. The black jeans around his ankles. So what's the problem with that? A lot of guys do that. Sometimes they don't take off the whole pants. Sometimes they. Anyway, remember seeing them around the ankles, and she looked back. She looked back during the RAPE. Afterwards, while standing in the doorway, he said to her, "Don't you ever fucking make me do that to you again." The context, it can be so different than what she's telling us. For him to say, "Don't you ever make me do that to you again," it can be so out of context, that phrase. Warner then threatened to kill her. He also bragged that he would get away with it if he indeed murdered her. In the years after the RAPE, plaintiff frequently had gynecological problems and medical problems, with diagnosed with vaginitis and infections, which made it very painful for her to have intercourse. This is like after the fact. This was a result of RAPE. Plaintiff doctors repeatedly asked her if she had been sexually assaulted. Dude, you're stupid. So she's saying she went to a doctor. This stuff happens though. Women get that type of stuff. So she went to a doctor, and the doctor asked her, "Have you been sexually assaulted?" The doctor said this might be a result of RAPE. She's gonna have to show the doctor information on this. She's putting things on this file that she's gonna have to show later. I think it's a very Ashley Walters was better than this. This is a very messy one, because first you're talking about text messages, now you're talking about doctor appointments. You're gonna have to show that. And if the doctor is a real doctor, the doctor is gonna go to court and testify the truth. If the truth is what you're saying it is. If you go to the doctor way after you went with Manson because you had an infection and that has nothing to do with him, then how are you going to prove that has nothing to do that is him that caused you that? So anyway, I'll be anxiously waiting for those crazy text messages and from the doctor notice as well, and the black and blue bruises. So the end, discovery rule, right? Item 41. Plaintiff did not discover the circumstances sufficient to put her on notice of her potential causes of action related to the RAPE. Yeah, she didn't realize it was happening because she was waiting for the Phoenix Act to pass, right? Because otherwise she wouldn't be able to do this. Because this happened in 2011, allegedly. So right now she won't be able to do this. She is able to do this because Evan Roger Wood and Esme Bianco passed that law. Man, they're good. They're good at what they do. There's a couple. I mean, the lawyers are pretty much of an idiot for putting so many things there, like doctors and things that they're gonna have to prove. But the timing is very good. So yeah, so Evan and Esme go to Congress. Okay, Congress doesn't even ask one question. Congress see this girl's crying and they say yes, and they pass the law. So now all the girlfriends, okay, they can all complain about him, file whatever you want to call it, because all this stuff happened 10 years ago. So the law was passed so they can do this. Nobody's gonna convince me otherwise. Seriously. So she didn't know how bad it was until now. She's saying it was bad, that she was blue and black bruised. It was bad because she had, I'm not laughing, this is bad things to have, like to be bruised and to have infections and to have to go to the doctor all the time. It's embarrassing, it's bad. If that stuff happens, it was not from Manson, and or why you're saying right now in the last part of the document says that she didn't know the extent of how bad this was, but also right before she says that she knew how bad this was because she was getting infections, and the doctor said you're getting this because you've been RAPE. So she knew how bad it was. So what are you saying now that you didn't know how bad it was? Oh God, this is like, it's hurting my brain cells really. Plaintiff did not discover the circumstances. See, that's the thing. I don't. To the extent of any plaintiff's causes of actions otherwise might have expired by the time this action. Exactly, because the Phoenix Act happened, these actions didn't expire. If they happen, but I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think they happen. But she's banking on the fact that it happens, and now I can actually, just file against him because the statute of limitations got extended 10 years, which is I can make a totally different video about how that is not really a good idea. So that's it. Oh no, it's not. Jesus. 44. Warner committed a sexual assault as defined in civil code. Okay, this is just like technical numbers. Okay, so this is what he's being not charged, but file on. Sexual assault with intent to commit crimes or murder. This is the first time this is there. It's a big deal to just. She's not just saying, well, he was always wanting sex. Oh my God, he was such a sex maniac. She's saying that, but also she's saying that he actually assault with intent to commit murder. And that's a different animal altogether, that she needs to know what the hell she's doing before she filed this. But obviously she already filed it, it's too late. I hope that, I don't know, he's gonna have to, at least this one, he should start with this one, perjury. For her to say that it was with the intention of murder is, it's just I don't believe it, but out there, they're gonna believe it. Just watch, they're gonna believe it. They believe this guy was guilty for Columbine. That's how ridiculous people are. So they might believe this too, and that's the really sad part of it. Warner's actions complain of hearing were his attempts to commit the crimes dealing in the above referred sections of the California Penal Code. We're not going to read all that. It's all numbers. Second cause of action, because there's a few. Plaintiff religious and incorporates reference and allegations contained in his complaints and fully said. I'm sorry, I'm reading so fast. I read so many court stuff. I hate it. California Civil Section Law 521 as soon as the Bain Act prohibits any persons from interfering with excess enjoyment. Alright, so okay, this is all technical stuff. We don't need to. And the old stuff was way too fun. Defendant used or attempt to use threats, intimidation, or coercion to interfere with the civil rights of plaintiff, including but not limited to her rights to liberty. Yeah, because she was not able to say no to the karaoke right of liberty. To body autonomy, to body autonomy is like when you let somebody else take control over your body. That's what's called body autonomy. And to be free from sexual assault. The defendant further engaged in the conduct described herein because of the plaintiff's sex. Well, yeah, as we know, he's straight. He's straight, right? He's bi, he's straight. So what's that little thing about? He did it because of her gender. Defendant intimidated and coerced plaintiff by engaging in the conduct described above because of Warner's powerful role in the industry. Oh my God! Okay, Manson is cool. He's a cool rock star. He's a cool painter. But he's not. I mean, he's rich. Probably he's rich, still, but he's not. They're talking about him like he owns like land and gold somewhere. He's not such a. I mean, he's powerful, but he's not as, they're making him sound like he's untouchable, like he's like Elon Musk or something. Because of Warner powerful role, yeah, he's not Elon Musk. He doesn't have so much power. He just makes songs, okay? He's not a mobster. She felt pressure to apprentice to Warner's demands because he's so powerful and older than her. Which it doesn't seem to be a problem when they get together with him, right? Like when Evan got together with him and she was 19, it was not a problem. It's a problem now. When this girl got together with him and she was in I think that she's trying to say she was in her 20s and he was in his 40s, not a problem. But it's a problem later. By the conduct described here in defendant intended to deprive plaintiff to enjoyment and exercise of her civil rights. Not really, because when you're talking about the civil rights, it's like if I said to you, oh, well, you can come over, but you're not able to sleep. Or I'm not going to let you go to work. I'm going to support you. Don't work anymore. So no, those are rights that you have as a person. But there's no way that she can actually prove that he did these things and that she was not working or she wasn't eating because of him. Maybe she wasn't working, she wasn't eating because she didn't want to. So I don't know how she's going to actually prove that he took away her rights, her human rights. It's impossible. Okay, third cause of action, sexual battery in violation of California Civil Code 1785. But I'm sorry, I really like that. I'm so used to reading court papers, sadly. Not this type of stuff, but just more of a family law, restraining orders, papers. Nothing. I never in my life read something so weird, ridiculous, like ludicrous like this. I mean, this is just a fabrication. Like, you cannot even make this up. I mean, yeah, she's making it up. But what I'm saying is, like, you cannot even script it in a movie. I hope that in like 20 years from now, somebody makes a movie about Amber Heard and Manson and Johnny Depp and Evan and the truth coming out, because this is gonna, they're eventually gonna look very bad, especially when you implying that you have text, implying that you went to a doctor and the doctor said, hey, that might be a result of sexual assault. You better just get that doctor on the phone and ready to testify, girl, because that was a big mistake to put a doctor situation there, because every time you do something like that, you're gonna have to get the person to testify. The doctor might go and say, yeah, yada yada had an infection. That's it. It cannot be proved that it was from him. How can you prove that? It's impossible. And there's no dates on it, and there's no pictures. The aunt didn't take pictures of her back or her neck, whatever it was. That was the moment to take pictures, don't you think, if that did happen to you? But nobody did. So plaintiff religious reunion by reference to alleged continuous complaint defend the okay, it's all the same thing over and over. So prayer for relief. This is why I'm not a lawyer and why lawyers are like semi-gods sometimes, or sharks, because there's a way that they put things and they use these keywords and these buzzwords, like the Nazi knife, remember? Words like that, they're just gonna make you go like, oh my God, and you're gonna feel for these women. They're using those words on purpose. There's plenty of words they can use, but they're using the most dramatic words they can use. Prayer for relief. Using that word is already It's a powerful word. Prayer for relief. So this is what she's asking for. Then the judgment in plaintiff's favor of all claims for relief. Okay. Award plaintiff full compensatory damages, including, we got to get to the good part of the money, huh? Including but not limited to damages for pain, suffering, mental anguish, emotional distress, humiliation, and inconvenience that she has suffered and likely will suffer in the future. Yeah, I should have read this part first, huh? But I wanted to read the whole thing for you and for me. Get this out of my system and make one video reading this whole thing, because I don't wanna. I wanna be able to understand this. I still don't understand what the hell. I mean, I see what she wants. She wants damages and money, but there's so many things on that, and they are beyond stupid, because she is putting Ashley Walters in it. She's putting a doctor in it. Things that she's gonna have to prove. Anyway, so damages for suffering. Man, I want damages for suffering. I'm gonna sue everybody because they make me suffer. Hours plaintiff punitive damages, attorney fees. Oh yeah, he has to pay for her attorneys. That is actually a very normal thing. That is not a vindictive thing. That is a very normal thing. When you're suing somebody, you're paying because you're wasting money on your lawyers, but then you get the other part to pay for your attorney fees. That is a very normal thing. That's such a problem. But if she wants money for mental anguish, emotional distress, humiliation, and inconvenience. So RAPE happening to you is an inconvenience. See how ridiculous this is? This is not an inconvenience. If this happened to you, it's a big crime. It's not an inconvenience. It's not something that you can pay off. You're doing this for women and for girls out there and victims, so he doesn't do this to anybody ever again. Okay? And you don't want to see him behind bars. You just want money for the inconvenience. At least you got a kimono out of it. I think. Maybe he kept the kimono. Probably he looked better on the kimono than she did. Our pre and post judgment enters at the highest lawful rate. Okay, pay for her lawyers. I get that. Award of all the reliefs in law are equated to which plaintiff is entitled to. Court deems inquired just proper. Jury demands. Plaintiff demands a trial by jury. This is the part that I really don't like, if it happens, of all issues with this complaint. A trial by jury with somebody like Manson, or somebody like Johnny, it might be, I'll be honest, it might be a mess because of what the public thinks of him. But it might not. There's always a possibility that people are actually better than we think they are. And if it happens in LA, in California, he's not going to be, like, it's not like it's happened in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma. Like, he's not going to be such a freak in the courtroom, even if it's Manson. Hopefully. I don't agree with the trial by jury. I don't think it's a good idea. But also, I don't think it's a good idea for him to just pay them off, which I'm sure they're tempted to do. But if he pays them off or gives them any type of favor, then he's guilty. People are going to think he's guilty, just like what happened with Michael Jackson. And I don't think that's a good idea either. Because this one, she is saying that he was trying to kill somebody. This is like beyond the regular assault stuff that we heard from Esme and from Evan. And she's putting Ashley Walters in the filing, which I find it kind of strange. Maybe it's a tactic. Maybe they thought about it together and they were like, oh, just you can pull me on your file. Okay. Maybe Ashley said, yes, you can pull me in it. But it kind of makes Ashley look like an accomplice and look like a witness of what happened. And it makes her look kind of bad. Like, oh, well, I'm going to leave so you can abuse this girl. Bye. That makes her look bad. So then May 28th. Okay. Adam, Wolf, and I'm just trying to get what this lawyer's at. Wilshire Boulevard. Okay, that's LA. Then there's another one in San Francisco. And another one in Austin, Texas. Who the hell knows what these people are? She has 3 attorneys. That's more than Esme. 3 attorneys. Anyway, well, that was Jane Doe, latest I hope we don't have any more coming up, but I have an idea. I feel like we will have more. This added to the spitting and the warrant for his arrest for the spitting on her camera. Like really, I feel like this one is really, 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 really damaging and needs to be like. I mean, I'm trying. Like we can all sit here and try to debunk this thing, and I think I had, but she's saying that he was trying to kill somebody. So they haven't said that on the other ones. I think even Evan says something of the sort that I thought I could die. That's different. I thought I could die, but this person is saying that he was killing somebody, and he showed her this movie Groupie, which now we know is fiction. But in the she's trying to tell you, that he was showing her this horrible Blair Witch Project type of film, and that's when she thought, "Did you kill this girl?" And he was answering vaguely, and then she thought the girl was dead. Not only that, but then she's saying right there that that night when they have sex, she thought that he was gonna kill him, and then he said, "I could kill you." So that takes it to another level to me. And if that's true, the fact that she's asking for money after something so supposedly, let's pretend that it's true, something so dramatic and so, my God, so horrible, like a gun to your head during sex, and the person saying, "I'm gonna kill you," and you call it an inconvenience, and you said that you want damages and you want your attorney's pay and you want probably everything to get paid, the hotel, everything. It's not an inconvenience. Oh my God, if that happened to anybody, nobody will say the word inconvenience. You will say, "I want that mother behind bars." That's what I would say. I would fight with my blood, sweat, and tears until the guy's in jail if this happened to me. I wouldn't be asking for, damages because it was an inconvenience, because he made you sing in karaoke and you didn't feel like singing, or he made you wear a kimono. So we went from like the kimono and the silly stuff to, oh, maybe you kill somebody stuff, really quick. Well, it wasn't quick. I've been doing this for like an hour. So I'm done reading it. You can go and read it too, but I read it, so you don't really have to, because it made me nauseous. It made me nauseous and sick. Not because of the stuff about Manson, because I don't think he did that, but it's making me nauseous that as a woman, yeah, I'm going to play the woman card right now. I read this and I'm going like, whoa, the guy assaulted you so much that you were sent to the doctor with an infection, and then you're asking for damages for the inconvenience. It's insulting. It's insulting to me and to anybody out there that ever were in the situation. Doctor noticed, where's the doctor documents, the texting, the insane texting, the aunt, her family member seeing the black and blue bruises. That person better be ready to testify, because this is a weird way of filing. This is weird. It's like giving all this stuff and then taking it away and then saying that it happened again and then making it really silly and then making it really bad to the point of using the word murder. I know Esme says something like that, like, "I thought he could kill me." Evan said, "I thought he could kill me." But I don't think nobody ever said this. We know the movie Groupie is out there. I mean, the movie's not out there, but you can probably find like a few seconds of it on YouTube. Yeah, it's loud, it's obnoxious, and it's Manson during Antichrist Superstar. If that says it all, that's what he was doing. And the video has credits, and the model is credit on the video. The director came out saying that it was all fake, that it was really well done, and the reason they kept it is because they thought that it was going to be too much for the public, but it was fake. So this whole case and this whole filing that I just read to you for an hour goes to the trash. Because if you lie about one thing, you lie about two things. That's how it is in court. So it's the same with Amber. When Amber said, well, Johnny was drunk, yeah, maybe he was. Maybe he was drunk. But then, like, there's so many lies after that that even if there's one true, it surfaces the lies surface the truth. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can, Amber has been saying things about Johnny, like, oh, he has so many rings, so when he punched me, it hurt because he has so many rings. Yeah, he has many rings. Things like that are true. He drinks a lot of whiskey. Yeah, he used to drink a lot of whiskey. So, but the moment that you lie about one thing, then the courts usually treat you like you are a liar. When you lie once, you lie twice. So she's lying about the movie Groupie because we know it's fiction. Then she could be lying about the whole damn document, which I think she is. And some stuff I think she's exaggerating. Some stuff is completely fabricated. And she contradicts herself, saying that Ashley was there and then Ashley left. And I don't know why she had to talk about the kimono, that he was wearing the kimono, maybe to make him look more of a pervert. I don't know. Anyway, what an asshole, right? I finally got that out and I read it and I'm gonna post it. And if anybody's watching that wants to say anything to me about this, let's talk about it. I am not. I won't delete anything or any comments or anything that I don't like. I want to talk about this. This is important. If you are a woman or if you're a guy and you have daughters, sisters, girlfriends, it's important that we talk about this. It's important that you know that just because you're a woman and you have the grace of God and be born a woman, which is awesome, it don't give you the rights to do this to people. At the same time, if you're a man, you need to be careful because this could be happening to you tomorrow. So let's just talk about this and how can we prevent this. Maybe you should not give the key to your apartment so fast. Maybe you should keep tabs of the people you talk to, how you texting, keep proof. Look, listen, I have a recording app on my phone. Okay, I'm not a private detective, but I have it. They have it at the Play Store. Get it, it's free. What you do is you put the phone down like this, the other way, right? And everything is going to be recorded. So if you think that your girlfriend or anybody's trying to set you up and just saying weird stuff, trying to set you up, you're just going to record it just in case. So then you record it first. Do you see what I mean? You're just going to you have to take advantage of technology. Keep your text, keep anything that these people send to you, anything that it can be used against you in the future. If a girl is like insisting so much and that you do something to her and it doesn't seem natural, and it seems weird and it seems too much, that's a red flag. Yeah, get the audio. Do what Amber did. Record everything, because you never know when something like this can come up. If Manson wasn't such a nice guy and so trusting, maybe wouldn't, whatever. I don't want to say what if, but from now on, I think it's important to talk about what we can do to protect ourselves from liars, because this can happen to me too. Just because I'm not rich and famous, it doesn't mean that I'm immune to people lying about me. And there have been situations that a whole group of people thought that I was this and that, and I have to just work hard and prove them that I wasn't. And I'm nobody. So I can imagine how stressful it is for him and for his wife and his friends to be in this mess. And I think it's a good thing that he's low-key. He's not going out in TV shows, calling them names. It's the best thing to do, probably, is be quiet right now for him and let all of us do the work. And the more the merrier. So if you want to share, you want to talk to me, you can talk to me about sex, you can talk to me about pretty much anything. I'm old and I get it. And I get the revenge too. I get that this one probably was ghosted, because it seems like she was left for Lindsay, his wife, if I'm okay with the dates. So maybe she's just really mad at him, and that's something that that people need to work on. there's therapy and stuff before you start saying that people assault you. So don't believe everything that you read or that you watch or that you read on TV, that you read or that you watch or on the radio, the TV, the TikTok, doesn't matter. Just do your research and go look it up. The movie Groupie, her name is Pola, Pola, the actress, model. Movie Groupie was fiction. And go back to this document and just read it up. It's a pain in the butt to read it up, but I wanted to read it to kind of to see how ridiculous preposterous this is. It's just anyway. So good night. I'm just going to. I don't know. I don't feel like I want to talk about Amber because this is so hot and important right now. Not only because I like Manson, I like Johnny as well, but I do feel feels closer to my heart, and not because I'm a fan of Manson, but because I know people like this. I know people on both sides of the coin. So I really want to get this out there, and just talk to me if you want to, and I won't be offended. If you think this is completely insane, that I'm crazy, that I'm defending a pervert and a rapist, then okay, then tell me. And, maybe we can talk about it. But I think this is a fabrication. And I think this is probably the worst of all of them, because the saying that he actually maybe have murdered somebody. The good thing I know is that she didn't get murdered. I'm just using humor because this is what I do when I'm like nervous, because I don't know, like this is like beyond ridiculous. And there's so many things that can be proven. And there's many things that sadly he can't prove. But if I was him or his team, I would be asking for that doctor notice. The doctor note saying that, oh my God, you were sexual assault, that's why you have an infection. I want to talk to that doctor. I want to talk to the aunt, to her family member that saw the bruises. I want to talk to Ashley Walters if she saw bruises as well. There's things that I want to see, the text messages and how crazy he was in these messages. And even if he was a crazy texter, it doesn't make him anything a crazy texter. Like I hate talking on the phone, so I text a lot. And some people don't like that. And, whatever. It is what it is. But, it doesn't make you a perverse, Machiavellic monster just because you text a lot. Or because you gave somebody a gift. And, that's the problem with this. Is like this weird fake feminism that is going around for the last few years, that okay, you give a person a gift and it's like, oh, you're buying me, you're stealing my rights as a woman. No, I just gave you a fucking gift because I'm rich, you're not, so I want to share with you. See, that's what I don't understand. How is that a bad thing? I wish I was getting kimonos from Marilyn Manson. Right? I'll wear it in my cold apartment, because right now I have it at 68. He has it at 65 degrees. I have it at 68. Ooh. I might be just like have a dungeon on the back or something. Anyway, I'm just keep going, just trying to make fun of this because this is disturbing, really. And just that's it. I will come back later with more stuff. If you watch me, thanks you for watching me. If you didn't, I'm sorry.